Hi, Mum. It feels good to finally be able to speak to you. I hate to have to tell you stuff like this, but I don't feel safe phoning home and I can definitely never come home. The last thing I ever wanted to do was go away, but I didn't have any other choice. I've done terrible things. He told me that if I told anyone, they'd blame me for being such a slut. I thought he loved me. I felt like the luckiest girl on the estate. But he took notice of me. None of the other girls had boyfriends with a car and money. None of their boyfriends were as old as he was, and it made me feel like such a woman. Like I must be really something for a man like him to want me. They never got the trips, or the presents, or the fun. He told me we were two of the same, that we were soulmates. We were made for each other. He told me he loved me, and that he would always show me how much he loved me. The first time we slept together was amazing. It was so wonderful. I was drunk and didn't really know what I was doing, but he was so patient. I thought that it would be like that forever. Who doesn't want to be told every day that they're beautiful? The first time he let one of his mates touch me, I thought it was a dream. I couldn't believe it was real. But it was the beginning of a nightmare. For days after, it felt like I was stuck in this awful dream. Then he was back to my lovely Chris. We walked along the beach, no one else in the world but the two of us. Then we were at another party. A man I didn't know started touching and grabbing me. I shouted this time. I was so angry. I told him to get off me. He was older than my dad. It was disgusting. Chris came over and I thought he was going to give it to the man, defend me. But no. He hit me. He beat me so badly. I could feel the bruises burning under my skin with every blow. He was clever though. He didn't touch my face. He hit me everywhere else. It was easy for me to cover the bruises most of the time. I never talked back again. I never argued. When I'd cry or try to break it off with him, he'd tell me he would hurt you and Dad and Emmy. He knows lots of people, and I know how badly he could hurt people. He told me he'd bring Em to one of the parties. Those parties were horrible. Sometimes men who looked older than my dad or granddad, stinking of booze and off their heads and drugs. Sometimes they'd like hurting me. Sometimes they'd like to hear me cry, to hear me beg to stop. I ended up in A&E a couple of times. Remember that time I told you I fell off the skateboard at the park, messing around? That was how I broke my wrist. I was grazed all down my arms and legs. No, Chris went ballistic one night. He dragged me out of the house into the back garden. It was on concrete, so my legs and arms were grazed. He punched and he kicked me and he stamped on my wrist. It was so sore. He gave me a story to tell the nurses, acted like a concerned family friend. He never left my side. I couldn't tell them what really happened. There's no escape for me. I can't tell you where I am for a while anyway. This is the way it has to be. And it's why I haven't been in touch for so long. No one can know. I'm not going to the police. He might follow through with his threats. He knows lots of people who would help him. Lots of men would be at risk. None of them would allow that to happen. None of them would allow him to be at risk. They'll look after him, no matter what. This is the only way you'll all be safe. I don't want to die, and I don't want anything to happen to you. If I stayed there, one of them would end up killing me, or I'd kill myself. I'll be okay. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you that I was leaving or why I'd run away. It must have been so horrible not knowing. I know that you must blame yourselves, and that makes me so sad. But there's really nothing else I can do. I just want you to know that I'm safe, and I hope someday we'll be able to see each other again. But for now, this is all I can say, other than letting you know that I love you all very much, and I miss you.